partake in a leadership and culture exchange experience. He's worked with Awanas and traveled to both Costa Rica and Mexico teaching English to children. John Quincy Adams once said, "If your actions inspire others to dream more, learn more, do more, and become more, you are a leader." Our honoree certainly strives to help others be more. He's a giver and helper at his central core. In the fall, the valedictorian will be attending Emory University in Atlanta, Georgia, to pursue a degree in biology. His GPA is 104.5932, and as a ranking as #1 in the class, it is with great pleasure and honor that I announce the 2017 valedictorian, Mr. Joseph Kim. Christy and Joseph, nice work. Next, it is my privilege to present the 2017 National Merit Scholarship recipients. Please come forward to be recognized as I call your name. Our National Merit finalists, Hattie Wynn. Our National Merit Committee Scholars, Mr. Joseph Kim. National Merit Committee Scholar, Ms. Madison Miller. A National Merit Committee Scholar, Mr. Bryson Rushing. National Merit Committee Scholar, Ms. Kenna Wayne. Our National Hispanic Merit Scholar, Mr. Gerardo Gamboa. Let's give them one more round of applause for our National Merit Scholars. Now, Mrs. Lovett, one of our Creekview counselors, will present our first Senior Crimson Honor Award, the Crimson Honor for Integrity. Ms. Lovett?
Good morning. Integrity, by definition, is choosing your thoughts and your actions based on values rather than personal gain. Integrity is one of the most valuable qualities a person can have in life. Integrity is thought of as doing the right thing when no one else is looking, but also doing the right thing when everyone is looking and it's not necessarily the most popular choice. The young lady chosen for this award has shown true integrity. She consistently chooses the path of excellence both in and out of the classroom. She has a high set of standards for herself, and her peers respect her for her choices. She is strong in what she believes and will stand by it. She is someone who is dependable, honest, and chooses well. She exemplifies this quote by Doug Fireball. Integrity is not something that you should have to think about, nor consider doing, but it is something that is in the heart that is there already. Our honoree is involved in a multitude of school activities and service experiences. She is a leader. One of her advisors and teachers said, "Her energy is contagious drives those she works with to do their absolute best. Her approach to life with integrity is a vital part. It's how she lives her life, but also how she inspires others around her. Her independence and initiative is always grounded in her beliefs. Our honoree serves as president of DECA. She leads this organization with integrity and conviction. Really, she is the heart and soul of this year's DECA organization. She has an outstanding work ethic and is very deserving of this award. The 2017 Senior Crimson Honor for Integrity is awarded to Anara Muhammad. And now for the presentation of the King Roosevelt Crimson Honor for Leadership. This year's honoree for the Senior Crimson Honor for Leadership is an impressive ambassador. He is a focused and dedicated student, a wise friend, and a compassionate classmate. He leads by example and embodies servant leadership. He has served and led others through numerous community service and volunteer activities. This young man does not have to convince others to follow him. He is a fierce individualist with a biting wit and a keen intellect. Nevertheless, he is sensitive to the needs of those around him while never sacrificing the high standards he holds for both himself and others. Even though he is surrounded by temptation, he consistently keeps his head up and focuses on the task at hand and on the man he strives to be, one of sincerity and virtue. He is the epitome of a Renaissance man, involved in a variety of activities, but always a leader in context. His teachers and peers admire his tenacity and his courage in the face of difficulties. No matter the obstacle, this student will no doubt overcome it and lead others on the path. This year's leadership recipient is a rock. He has tremendous school spirit, serving as captain of the varsity cheer squad. He possesses wise judgment as the captain of mock trial witness team. He is dynamic in his commitment to CHS Moral Department as a member both of the varsity and Legends Flyers. His determination to be the best and guide his peers to the best can be how he leads on the field, the stage, and in the courtroom. The 2017 Senior Crimson Honor for Leadership is awarded to Jacob Blackburn. And now, Mrs. Joplin will present the Crimson Honor for Perseverance.
Persistence, patience, and perseverance are virtues of a person with strong positive attitude. A new Sinha. This quote definitely describes this year's recipient of the Crimson Honor for Perseverance. Our honoree is no stranger to overcoming obstacles. But even through her trials and tribulations, she has remained a resilient servant leader. She was born with Chotson craniosynostosis, a condition where skull bones fuse together too early. It occurs in 1 in every 50,000 births and can cause death, brain damage, deformities, and disabilities. But throughout her life, the student's health has provided her with many problems which have led to numerous surgeries and is frequently out of school for doctor's appointments. She could use her health as a crutch or an excuse, but when she is out, which is more than once a week, She not only keeps up with her work, but she remains ahead, and her peers depend on her for help in life classes. Her resilientness and drive continues to pay off. She's been accepted to every college she applied to and has applied for more than 40 scholarships. She is constantly an inspiration to everyone she meets, especially her Abbott family. Next year, she will attend Texas Women's University, which will be paid for by all the scholarships she has applied for. And using her health to help her motivate her towards her path of becoming a pediatric nurse and making an impact on children and families, like her healthcare providers that impacted her life. With honor, I announce the 2017 Senior Crimson Honor for Perseverance to Sarah Riker.
Is there any way that you could bring the house lights up a little bit so that our students that are being called up might be able to see the steps a little bit better? If you could do that, that would be fantastic. All right. Thank you so much. Students, as we present the awards for scholarships, let me just kind of lay some groundwork for you. You can come up either side. Mr. Perry and Mr. Hovell will help assist up and down the stairs. But you may enter on any side, and you will meet your presenter here in front of the podium, all right? We've got photography and video going, so we should get some great shots. All right, we're going to start this morning off. The Annie Heads Rainwater Memorial Scholarship will be presented by Mrs. Tina Iglesias. As a torchbearer for justice and freedom, Annie Heads Rainwater stood up for equality. She was a Carrollton pioneer who was successful in helping unite a diverse community through her faith, strength, and conviction. We are proud to present a scholarship this morning in the amount of $300 to Augustine N.A. Scholarships in the amount of $500 each are awarded this year to Zach August and Samantha Valencia. Carrollton-Farmers, Ms. Andrea Bailey would like to present scholarships this morning in the amounts of $1,500 each to Presley Davis and Sarah Rogers. Will be presented by Blaylac's Assistant Principal, Dr. Kelvin Land. And first Vice President, Mrs. Erin McIntosh. On behalf of Blaylock Middle School PTA, scholarships in the amount of $500 each are awarded this morning to Sarah Reichertz and Rachel Marino. The Carrollton-Farmers branch unit of the NAACP is a civil rights organization advocating for fairness, equality, voting privileges, education, law enforcement, and civic engagement in our community. Shannon Phillips is pleased to present the Jarlene Miller Book Scholarship in the amount of $500 this morning to Brianna Mitchell. The Carrollton-Farmers Branch Art Association Scholarship will be presented this morning by Ms. Cindy Summerman. This year's scholarship in the amount of $1,000 is awarded to Violet Smith. The Carrollton-Farmers Branch Baseball Association is a nonprofit organization whose recreation and competitive baseball in our CFB community provides a great outlet for students. They are also committed to support and giving back to the community by offering scholarships to graduating seniors. This morning, Mason Gann from